Good evening and welcome to the Channel Studios here in London with your international news around the world in 5.
Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky has given details of an updated peace plan that offers Russia the potential withdrawal of Ukrainian troops from the east that Moscow has demanded. Giving details of the 20-point plan agreed by US and Ukrainian negotiators in Florida. Describing the plan as the main framework for ending the war, Zelensky said it proposed security guarantees from the US, NATO and Europeans for a coordinated military response if Russia invaded Ukraine again. The 20-point plan is seen as an update of an original 28-point document agreed by the US envoy Steve Witkoff with the Russians several weeks ago, which was widely seen as heavily geared towards the Kremlin's demands. At least 2 people have died and several others were injured after an explosion and fire at a Pennsylvania nursing home caused a partial collapse of the building. Emergency crews were called to the Silver Lake nursing home in Bristol at around 2 p.m. local time after receiving reports of gas odour. When crews arrived, the building exploded, causing a massive fire. 5 people were still unaccounted for, but officials said they were unsure if those people were in the building. Responders pulled residents out of windows, stairwells and elevators and carried them to safety. Venezuela has accused the United States of the greatest extortion at an emergency session of the UN Security Council in New York. The Venezuelan ambassador to the UN said Washington's seizure of 2 Venezuelan oil tankers was worse than piracy. The emergency meeting of the Security Council was called to discuss the seizure of the tankers, which took place off the coast of Venezuela earlier this month. The US has also said it was pursuing a 3rd Venezuelan tanker.
President Trump has been very clear that he is going to use the full power of the United States of America, the full might of the United States to take on and eradicate these drug cartels which have operated with impunity in our hemisphere for far too long.
The Libyan army chief has been killed in an air crash in Turkey. General Mohammed Ali Ahmed al-Haddad and 4 others were on board a Falcon 50 aircraft flying out of the Turkish capital Ankara. In a post on X, the Turkish Interior Minister said signal with the business jet was lost at 20:52 local time, around 42 minutes after it took off. The Tripoli-bound jet had issued an emergency landing request before contact was lost. The aircraft's wreckage was later found southwest of Ankara. There is growing anger in Malawi over a post-Christmas fortnight trip to the UK that one of the country's vice presidents is due to take. Jane Ansah's visit will be in a private capacity, but the reported size of both her entourage and the overall cost of the trip has ignited fierce criticism. The details have been disputed by her office. The row began after the circulation of an alleged leaked letter to the Malawi High Commission in London, signed by the Secretary for Foreign Affairs, listing 15 individuals set to accompany Ansah. In power since October, the Vice President's government has pledged to manage the economy competently and has already announced a raft of austerity measures.
Hello. Hello. You must be the delivery.
The UK Prime Minister has acknowledged Britain's cost of living struggles in his Christmas message and vowed that helping with the issue is his priority. Sir Keir Starmer also urged members of the public to each do our bit and reach out to friends, relatives and neighbours during the festive period.
It's a truly special time of year. And it's a time to remind ourselves what's really important. Family, friends, community.
The time where the police have actually stopped us and asked for our passports, the rest has been absolutely fine. Don't know if we've just been lucky.
And a father and son hoping to cycle their way into the record books have told how the kindness of strangers has been the standout of their round-the-world adventure.
About 1600 metres and it's uphill all the way.
George and Josh Kohler left their home in Norfolk in March and have already cycled across Europe, Uzbekistan, China, Thailand and Indonesia. They aim to be back on home soil in May, potentially with 3 world records as the first father and son to have cycled the furthest, the fastest and through the most countries, all while raising thousands of pounds for UNICEF.
And that's your international news around the world in 5. Now back to the Channel Studios in Lagos.